Hare Krishna, welcome to our weekly Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are meeting after a long time. Today we'll start with the 12th chapter of the first canto, and it is birth of Parikshit Maharaj. So we'll start with the first verse. So we'll read all the 5 verses, the translation, and the purport will take only of verse number. I think third verse we will take purport. So we'll start. You can repeat after me. Verse number 1. Shri Shaunaka Uvacha Ashvattamno Pasrasthena Brahma Shishnu Tejasa Uttaraya Hato Garva Ishena Jivitah Puna. Now we will go to verse number 2. Tasya Janma Mahabuddhe Karmani Cha Mahatmanah Nidanam Cha Ete Vasi Sapretya Gatavanyata.
How was the great Emperor Parikshit, who was a highly intelligent and great devotee, born in that womb? How did his death take place, and what did he achieve after his death?
Yes. So verse 3. Tadidam shrotam ichhamo Gaditum yadi manyase Bruvinaha shratadhananam Yasya jnanam adashukaha.
We all respectfully want to hear about him, Maharaj Parikshit, to whom Sukadeva Goswami imparted transcendental knowledge. Please speak on this matter.
So the sages want to know from Sutta Goswami how Parikshit Maharaj was protected in the womb, and because he is the person who received the Srimad Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami. So it's a very fascinating, intriguing topic. So they are very, very interested. And in this particular verse, they are saying we want to hear about Parikshit Maharaj. So this is a purport where Prabhupada is emphasizing a lot on hearing and chanting and the 9 processes of devotional service, and not something esoteric or mystical. Like in many organizations, they talk about the guru giving some electric current, some mystical things happening. So Prabhupada would dismiss all of this, and he would say the process is simple. And especially the last line is very powerful. Only the sincere party can achieve the desired result, because the process is simple. Many of us don't take it serious. So we'll dive deeper into this, but I also thought we'll read the translation of verse 4 and 5, because now, in response to these questions, Sukadeva Goswami is beginning this narration of how Parikshit Maharaj was saved. So he's giving the background to the story. The story doesn't begin directly. So he's creating the scene. So the 4th and 5th verse, it explains what was happening at that time. So please repeat. Suta Uvacha Apipala Dharmaraja Pitravat Ranjayan Prajaha Nispraha Sarva Kamebhya Krishna Padan Sevaya.
Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, Emperor Yudhishthira administered generously to everyone during his reign. He was exactly like his father. He had no personal ambition and was freed from all sorts of sense gratification, full of his continuous service unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna.
Verse number 5, please repeat. Sampadaha Kritavo Loka Mishi Brataro Mahi Jambo Dvipadipatyam Cha Yashascha Tridivangatam.
News even reached the celestial planets about Maharaj Yudhishthira's worldly possessions, sacrifices by which he would attain better destination, his queen, his stalwart brothers, his extensive land, his sovereignty over the planet Earth, and his fame, etc.
Yes. So this is a very beautiful chapter. We can read the last sentence of the verse 3 purport. Can you read that again?
The process is simple, but only the sincere party can achieve the desired result.
The process is simple, but only the sincere party can get the result. Sometimes because it is simple, we don't put effort. In our school, when the teacher would say this is some easy section would be there, it would give us lot of marks. We would not focus on that. We would think that बहुत easy है. उसको इतना पढ़ते नहीं थे. But ये Krishna consciousness is very amazing. Very simple process. Hear, chant, worship deities. It doesn't have that sophistication. But we miss it. After Putana's killing, who was the demon who came to Vrindavan after Putana? Yes. After Shakatasur, Trinavarta. So I think before Trinavarta's coming, chapter 7, so Parishit Maharaj begins by inquiring. Ena avatarena Bhagavan Ishvara Karoti Karna Ramyani Manogyani Chanaprabhu. He says, my dear Shukdev Goswami, all these avatars of the Lord, when we hear about them, especially Krishna's section is going on now. Ena avatarena Bhagavan Ishvara. This is all about Krishna. The advantage of hearing all these pastimes is two things. Karoti Karna Ramyani. कान में सुनने में मजा आता आनंद आता है. There is happiness in hearing about Krishna. Mano Gyani Chana Prabhu, and intelligence also gets sharpened. Very unique. When we hear about Krishna, we get entertained also, and we get educated also. Entertainment and education. Our Jai Shakti says educate, what do we call it? Educainment. Educainment. In the next verse, he says, there are 6 things that happen, 6 or 5 things that happen when we hear regularly about Krishna sincerely. Because Prabhupada is saying it is simple, but we have to be sincere. What does that sincere mean? When hearing, what are the things, benefits we will get if we sincerely hear? Yashrinvatopeti aratir vitrishna Satvam cha shuddhyat achirena dhira Bhakti harautat purushe cha sakhyam Tadevaharam vadamanya seche. So very beautiful verse. He's saying, Ashrinvato, if you keep hearing about Krishna every day, apeti, something will go away. Rati means attraction. Now, right now, we have no attraction to Krishna because there is arati, there is distraction. This is the biggest distraction. Arati. Now, the World Cup is going on. Everybody is into cricket. Now, uske baad IPL. Uske baad something else. Arati with Trishna, and this distraction will go away. And with Trishna means hankering for temporary things. We are hankering for material things. That is burning our heart. So these 2 things will go away, distraction and hankering for temporary things. We are constantly hearing. Very powerful verse actually. Yashringatopeti aratir vitrishna. See in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, very beautiful. I think Lord Chaitanya tells our Pradyumna Mishra, because he wants to hear Krishna Katha. He comes to Lord Chaitanya. So he is very, very excited. Please tell me Krishna Katha. Mahaprabhu says you should hear from Ramananda Rai. He sends him to Ramananda Rai. Before sending him, Mahaprabhu says something very beautiful. Can you repeat this verse? Hoping I remember it. Krishna Kathaye Ruchi Tomar. Krishna Kathaye Ruchi Tomar. Bada Bhagyavan. Pyara Krishna Kathaye Ruchi. Sei Bhagyavan. He says, oh, you're interested to hear about Krishna? Krishna Kathaye Ruchi Tomar. Bada Bhagyavan, you are very Bhagyavan. You have this enthusiasm to hear about Krishna. That is very nice. And not just you. 550 years later, when devotees will hear in ISKCON, anyone who wants to hear, Yara Krishna Kathaye Ruchi, Sei Bhagyavan, they are all most fortunate. Lord Chaitanya has declared this. We are all very fortunate if you have an enthusiasm for hearing Bhagavatam. And then I think Raghunath Goswami says in the later chapter that what will happen if we keep hearing like this? Then we will start smelling the fragrance of Krishna's lotus feet, which means that is the meaning of getting taste. Acha lagne lagega. And what does that translate to practical terms? Very beautiful verse. Again, please repeat. Krishna Pada Padma Gandha Yai Jana Pai Brahma Loka Adi Sukha Tandre Nahi Bhai Krishna Pada Padma Gandha, the fragrance of the lotus feet of Krishna when it enters. Yai Jana Pai, one who gets it through the process of hearing and service. The mood has to be there, of course. Brahma Loka Adi Sukha Tandre Nahi Bhai. He will not be attracted to the Brahma Loka Sukha. In the sense, he will not be attracted to any material happiness. He will be satisfied just by hearing. So this is the power of this so-called simple process. So two things, okay, out of the 6 things, we discussed 2. Yashrinvatopeti arati vitrishna. Then what will happen? Sattvam will be established in Sattva Guna. Well, without Sattva Guna, we cannot practice bhakti in the long run. Sattvam cha shuddhyat. Shuddhyat means consciousness will get cleansed by hearing about. And all of these 4 things will happen when achirena dhira. Very soon. And you will become dhira. You will become sober. सबको याद है समझ में 5 चीज हो गया ना. And then bhakti harau tat purushe cha sakyam. Bhakti, you will develop devotional sentiments for Krishna. But one of the biggest problems devotees have is, प्रभु जी ये तो मिल रहा है, but devotees के साथ बहुत पंगा हो रहा है. Devotees के साथ communication problem, relationship issues. Bhakti harau tat purushe cha sakyam. We also develop friendships with devotees because the false ego gets dissolved when we come together and hear and chant. So 7 things I think we spoke about. First, Yashrinvatopeti arati, distraction will go away. Vitrishna, hankering for temporary things will go away. Then Sattvam, arati, vitrishna, Sattvam, Sattva-guna. Then consciousness will get purified. Sattvam cha shuddhyat. Then dhira, sober. Then bhakti harautat and friendship with devotees. Bhakti harautat purushe cha sakyam. And the last line is very poetic. He is saying, the king is telling Sukadeva Goswami, Tadeva haram vadamanya seche. Please put garland of Krishna Katha on us. See, before you started the class, we put garland on you. Now you should put the garland on us. The garland of Krishna Katha. In Bhagavatam class in temple, when you put garland on the speaker, it is instructing the speaker that अभी हमने garland डाला, अभी आप हमको garland डालो. तदेव हारम, अभी हार पहनाओ हमको. This is a very beautiful process. So we should not underestimate. Krishna Katha is most important. But so what happens when we keep hearing constantly? Then we'll be able to see Krishna in our daily struggles also. Devotees learn to see Krishna. Spontaneously they call out to Krishna. Like you are going in the car. Suddenly you put an emergency brake. Somebody has come in the front and the car is shaken, and you don't even, those times you don't plan to say Krishna's name, but I've seen devotees spontaneously shout Krishna. If it was not there, if the culture of hearing one was not there, then we would say, Mummy! In the Second World War, they did survey of people who were dying in the Second World War. What was the thing they remembered the most? Just when the moment of death. So they came that they were remembering the mother. This is good, auspicious, but Krishna is the original mother. So when we hear about Krishna constantly, we'll be able to see Krishna in our daily struggles. We'll be able to, not that we'll be escapists, but we'll be able to turn to Krishna in all situations. If we fail in our services, if we betray our values, we'll be able to come back to Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Krishna will be in the beginning, middle, and end of our day. So this happens. And even let's say you become a victim of anger. But because you are hearing of Krishna regularly, even though you have betrayed your value, you have done something wrong, you become angry, but in the end you'll be able to see Krishna there. You'll be able to see the lesson that Krishna is teaching you through this angry outburst. Actually, Christians are very good in this. They see God in their daily life all the time. Today I was angry. Oh, Jesus appeared to me in my anger. But the problem with them is they don't see God beyond their life. It's all about God giving me my daily bread, God making me happy. God is existing to make me happy. We have the understanding of God who lives beyond our existence. But we should have both. We should consider God in both realities. In our world also, in our family life, in our situation also. And also a reality beyond us. So when we connect to Krishna beyond this world, his pastimes are independent of our life, then we are able to connect to Krishna even in this daily struggle. However, if we restrict Krishna only to our daily struggles, we will not be able to access the transcendent, the Krishna beyond this. So therefore, scripture, Bhagavatam is a very special scripture because it presents to us Krishna performing his eternal pastimes in Vrindavan. Krishna, who is independent of our world, who is performing his Rasa Leela. This reality is the foundation of Krishna consciousness and Srimad Bhagavatam. That whether your life is going through hell, heaven, turmoils, Krishna is enjoying his Rasa Leela. That aspect of Krishna, if we can connect to, then we are rising beyond our tiny little world. Then we access Krishna's mercy. That's why the Chaturshloki Bhagavad, the 4 most important verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam, these 4 verses are considered as the essence of Bhagavatam. 2nd Canto, 9th chapter, 33, 34, 35, and 36 verse. So there, right, the first verse Lord is telling Brahma, Aham eva sameva agre nanet yat satasat param paschad aham yad etacha yo vashishyeta sosmaham. I was existing before this creation. I will exist after this creation. And right now, also, I alone exist. And then, what are we supposed to do then? Pratayartam pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tad vidyalapano mayam yata bhaso yatattam. So, the Lord is telling, see everything in relation to me, because I was existing all the time. Don't forget me. Na pratiyeta. And if you see any reality independent of me, tad vidyalapano mayam, that's illusion. Yata bhaso, yata tama, just like in darkness, some shadow appears, some light, some reflection appears. That's a mirage, that's unreal. So any reality we accept without connection to Krishna. You'll say, but if Krishna existed always in the past, in future, and now, but why can't I see him? Why can't I know him? So then Krishna says in the 3rd verse, out of this 4, all 4 verses are powerful. The 3rd one he says, Yata mahanti bhutani bhuteshu uchchavacheshvanu pravishtani pravishtani tatateshu nateshvaham. He says, just like material elements enter into this world and they are existing in all the things, but they also exist independently. Similarly, I enter this whole creation, but I also exist separately. Just like, what are the 5 material elements? Earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So they mix to form this glass, this body. But earth exists independent of this body also. So it is, so Earth element has entered this body, but it is also existing independent of this. Similarly, Krishna will enter this world. Krishna will be there here, and he'll also be independent. So we have to connect. We have to keep ourselves tuned in to catch the frequency of Krishna. And therefore, what is our responsibility? Simple. The last verse says, Etavadeva jigyasyam tattva jigyasunatmana anvaya vitirekavyam yatsa sarvatra sarvada. At all time, all places, all circumstances, this is what you are supposed to do. Etavad eva jigyasyam, become curious. Start inquiring. What is the goal of life? What is the reality? What is metaphysical reality? What is physical? What is temporary? What exists when everything is finished? Start asking these questions. Jigyasa. Etavadeva jigyasyam tattva jigyasunatmana. Start doing tattva jigyasa. See, your family, your daily worries, your children, husband, house, this you have to anyway do and you will do it anyway. But there is a reality beyond this because it's all temporary. Gone. I remember the first time I came to Mumbai, I was in the 5th standard. 1982, we came to Mumbai from South India, and my mother took us. We were 3 brothers, small. I was 9, my younger brother was 8, my youngest brother was 5, and my mother took us to Siddhivinayak temple. Even now, when I go to that Siddhivinayak, I remember that incident. She's holding the 3 of us, restless children, and then we had to come back from there to Kaf Parade. And we boarded the bus, and my youngest brother was left behind. And the bus is gone, and my mother is shouting at the driver, conductor, everybody, pura bus mein pagalpan bheed. And my other younger brother is crying, completely confused. My mother is saying, where is the youngest fellow? So whenever I pass through that, I remember that incident. And today I was coming from there, so I remembered that. I was thinking, so then this is 1982. Of course, the bus stopped, my brother came, all that happened. So when I was talking to my mother recently, I was recalling that incident. And I was telling, see how many years passed? 45 years have passed. Still, I remember that. But in the large scheme of things, what is this incident? Gone. 42 years have gone. 45 years have gone. Everything will be gone. हम लोग उसी में रहते हैं. वही हमारा फैमिली एल्बम बैठ के वही फोटो देखते रहते हैं, शादी का, डेथ का, इसका उसका, सब क्या क्या चल रहा है वही बात करते हैं. वो रे वो ऐसा पार्टी हुआ, ये ऐसा हुआ. अरे रिमेंबर दैट दोस गुड ओल्ड डेज. Whenever we tell Maharaj about good old days, he starts this bhajan sandhya, kirtan. Maharaj immediately says, "This is also good old days. Live in the present." Oh, Krishna consciousness is so beautiful. So otherwise, everything is temporary. It's all going, gone, fleeting. Another 42 years from now, this will also go. We will not be there, many of us. So Yatsat sarvatra sarvada, at all times, all places, all circumstances, we should have these questions. Etavadeva jigyasam tattva jigyasunatmana. Anvaya vatirekavya. Nothing else should be the goal of life. This is Srimad Bhagavatam mode. So if you come for Bhagavatam classes, if you read regularly, this is what you will learn. So this requires simple faith to hear, discuss. So now you may say, but Prabhuji, but I'm hearing, I come to temple regularly, I'm part of so many, seva, but still I don't feel that inspiration. That means we are doing it wrongly. There is a paradigm in which we have to operate. See, if you're not getting the results after hearing chanting for so long, then there is some slight tweak, thoda tweaking karna padega, thoda change karna padega. See, whenever we do hearing chanting, our focus is I have to be happy. But it is for me. But Srila Prabhupada's paradigm was different. His paradigm was make Krishna happy. So that mood when we get, okay, I'm doing this to make Krishna happy, then you will see everything promised in the scriptures start happening to us. Right now, anything we do, we think of my comfort, my happiness. And I see that anybody who is sincerely following Srila Prabhupada, like His Holiness Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he is perfectly embodying this mood. I'll give a simple example. Yesterday's Bhagavatam class, marathon class. So Maharaj was giving example of Uddhava. If you remember, he said Uddhava wanted to be a blade of grass in Vrindavan. Now, so many times we have heard this, we have shared this, we have spoken about it. And we always say, Uddhava wanted to be a blade of grass in Vrindavan so that the gopis can trample upon his head and he can get the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis. That is his aspiration. This is where we generally stop. But Prabhupada's mood, which Radhana Swami Maharaj beautifully embodies, is Maharaj yesterday also said that sentence. Uddhava wanted to be a blade of grass, not because he wanted to be happy like that, because they knew that if I aspire for this, this will make Krishna happy. Even there, Maharaj is saying, he's reminding us that it's not about me. Uddhava wanted to be like that, not because that is his desire. That is his desire, but he knows Krishna will be happy. So, I think yesterday again mentioned this point about this very famous phrase we use. Krishna is a reservoir of all pleasure. Have you heard this? What does this mean? Reservoir means? All pleasure comes from him. This is what we naturally say, the source of all pleasure. But I've heard Radhanathana Maharaj say this many times, including yesterday. Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure means all pleasure of this world should be offered to him. पूरा paradigm अलग है. Pure devotees का paradigm, the way pure devotees think and the way we think is very different. So, like Rath Yatra, for example, we have Rath Yatras every year, so many places. Now, Rath Yatra general mood, our mood is also we pull the cart. The whole mood is take Jagannath from Simhadwar, that our what is that temple called? Shri Mandir. Shri Mandir to Gundicha. From Kurukshetra Dwarka to Vrindavan. So you take Krishna there. But if you see Maharaj Prabhupada's mood is, okay, our mood is, we take Krishna to Vrindavan. So if we take Krishna to Vrindavan, we also land up in Vrindavan. The idea is to give pleasure, to give happiness to Krishna. Yata taror mula nishechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujopashakha pranopahara chaitendriyanam sarvaranam tateva sarvaranam achyutejya. So if you water the root of the tree, the branches, twigs, leaves, flowers, they all get nourished. Nevatmana prabhurayam nijalabha purno manam janada vidusha karuno vrinite yadyajjano bhagavate vidaditamanam tachatmane pratimukhasya yatha mukhashri. You want to look beautiful, yatha mukhashri, you want to decorate your face nicely. So do you go to the mirror and start decorating the reflection in the mirror? Yatha mukhashri, pratimukhasya. We don't decorate the pratimukha, we don't decorate the reflection in the mirror. We decorate our face and the reflection also looks beautiful. Similarly, Naivatmana Prabhurayam Nijalabha Purno. The Lord doesn't need anything from us, but still, Manam Janada Vidusha Karuno Vrimute. The Avidusha. Foolish people think they are doing a favor to Krishna by serving him. But we don't realize that he's Karuno Vrinite. He's very compassionate, that he is happy. He allows us to serve him. Because when we do that, Yadyajjano Bhagavate Vidaditamanam, when we serve Krishna happily, Tachatmane Pratimukhasya, we who are the reflection, Yatha Mukha Shri. So Krishna is happy, we will also be happy. So this is the mood in which we operate. So if our hearing chanting is okay, I'm going to hear this class because this will make Krishna happy. Yesterday also, I think Maharaj began the class with this absorption in hearing. He said we should be enthusiastic to hear. So, in fact, last, I think the day you got initiated, 2024, that series of lectures Maharaj gave, starting from that, I think it was in Chowpat temple. First initiation was here in the temple. Then the next few days he gave here, then Juhu, then Nasik, Goa, Belgaum. So many places, Kolhapur, all the Radha Raspberry temple. All the initiation lectures, the main mood of Maharaj was, are we reciprocating with Krishna? Generally, when we hear Bhagavatam classes, we hear different speakers, they always keep giving us faith in Krishna. Krishna loves you. Krishna, Prabhuji, please give us faith in Krishna. Tell us how Krishna takes care of us. When we hear pastime how Krishna reciprocates with devotees, Sudama gave chipped rice, Krishna gave him so much opulence. Wow, Krishna is so nice. Krishna takes care of devotees. Krishna reciprocates with devotees. We like to hear all of that because somewhere deep within there is this subtle pride that I'm already a devotee. I'm doing so much for Krishna. I want to hear about how Krishna is taking care of devotees. Prabhuji, please tell us how Krishna is very nice. Because I'm a good devotee. I want to hear how Krishna is so nice. Very good class, Prabhuji. You explained so much. You gave us so much faith that Krishna is so nice. But if you see those initiation lectures that Maharaj gave in 2024, his whole mood was, are we reciprocating with Krishna? Krishna loves us. That is a done deal. That there is no doubt in a pure devotee's mind. Are we reciprocating? So this is the paradigm in which the pure devotees operate. And because we are not in that paradigm, that's why we are chanting, hearing for so long, but still not experiencing the joy of bhakti. It is missing. That is why yesterday, very emphatically while speaking about hearing on the absorption, hearing Arjuna, and then suddenly Maharaj said, to do something that breaks our heart with all our heart requires a lot of sincerity. I said, एक लाइन बोल दिया ऐसे casually नहीं, deeply बोला, nonchalantly he said that. Did you get that sentence? Okay, you repeat this sentence after me. To do something that breaks our heart with all our heart requires a lot of sincerity. आया समझ में? To do something that breaks our heart मतलब कुछ with all our heart. वही तो है आश्लेषवा पादरथम कि बस मेरा happiness नहीं, it's all about Krishna. So that is the paradigm. May not be at the level of the pure devotees, that's another thing. But Srila Prabhupada gave us this paradigm, chanting, hearing for Krishna's happiness. This paradigm shift, if we don't make, then we are licking the bottle of honey from outside. We are not experiencing. When Mataji was saying, our daughter was 1.5 years old, small baby girl. So they came to see Srila Prabhupada and they were talking, she, her husband, and the baby. Prabhupada is talking, and on the side of Prabhupada there was some small table and paper was kept. So this child started crawling and picked up those papers and started throwing them. So then Prabhupada immediately said, no. And the mother felt very embarrassed and sorry. She immediately picked up the baby girl. So then Prabhupada arranged the papers. And after some time, as they continued the conversation, the little girl, she crawled up to Srila Prabhupada and she fell on his feet. Again, the whole discussion was interrupted. So again, the mother picked up the girl. Oh, no. That time, Prabhupada smiled at the mother and said, you should learn how to instruct and train your child. You should teach her what she should not do and what she should do. So the paper she should not disturb. But these feet, they belong to her. This feet is hers. This she can touch. So then the mother felt very happy. And then after some time, as they were talking, the child, because it's a child, restless. So she was crawling. Suddenly she put her head back like this in a impulsive moment. And her head fell on the ground, on the floor. It must have hurt her. So she started crying. She started crying. So everybody was trying to mollycoddle her. So then Srila Prabhupada picked up the child and said, oh, see, nothing has happened to your head, but my floor has got damaged. See, my floor has got damaged because of you. But your head is proper, but my floor is not proper. Immediately the girl stopped crying and she became thoughtful. And then she looked at the floor and she started rubbing the floor. So then Prabhupada smiled and the girl and the mother. And then after some time, Prabhupada told them to leave. Prabhupada had other meetings. So the Mataji was saying, how Prabhupada gave a different perspective to my daughter. Pure devotee's perspective giving is different. So when we do any bhakti activity, like every Monday I come here. I come after darshan. The Monday evening is the Brahmachari's Mahaprasad day. So every day evening Mahaprasad goes everywhere else. Monday evening the Brahmacharis get it. Puri, sabzi, whatever. So I come from here. So there is a hall, small hall where all Brahmacharis stay. So every Monday Hare Krishna I tell them and I come for the class. But I got a little late because I saw the Mahaprasad. I was excited, and they said, "Oh, Prabhuji, aap aate nahi kabhi?" Then I sat with them. We spoke for some time. We honored Mahaprasad. It was a happy moment, and it was very sweet. But when we are enjoying that Mahaprasad, how many times? So somebody said, "Prabhuji, itna tasty hai na Mahaprasad." No, for me, because of my health issue and all that. For me, more than that prasad, it was that experience of being with the the 10 brahmacharis. It's a small picnic type. It's like a family time. So I was just basking in that presence, but then I had to get up and come because the class time was. So for me, that was the thing. So many times now we are caught up in this externals of anything. So as we get older, our tastes also become different. And there was one brahmachari always is serving, and जो बचा एंड में थोड़ा लेता है, उसका अलग ही टेस्ट है. But see, at the lowest level, oh, I want puri, I want that batata vada. That is the lowest level of pleasure. Higher pleasure is, okay, सब साथ में हैं, प्यार है, mental, emotional. उससे ऊपर है, देना है मुझे. नहीं मिला चलेगा, सब खुश है ना, मैं खुश. So that mood has to come in hearing, in service. Then we experience all that is mentioned about here. Bhakti is very simple, but we are missing it because we don't do it the proper way. We think of ourselves. And because Srila Prabhupada was in this mood, not only he could experience a deep Krishna consciousness, he could also transform people's lives. See, one amazing pastime, there is one Babaji, Hridayananda Babaji. He served deities in Radha Kund for 78 years. He lived, I think, 90 or something. That's a long time, no? To serve deities for 78 years. So at some point of time, he was in Vrindavan, Radha Damodar temple. That is the time Srila Prabhupada as Abhay Babu. Sorry, he was already initiated. He was sannyasi that time. He was Bhaktivedanta Swami. So he was staying in Radha Damodar temple doing his translation of Bhagavatam. So our Hridayanand Babaji was staying close by. Every night he would hear sound. And that would disturb him. But he would go back to sleep because he wanted to sleep. But one night when he got up, he said, let me find out what is the sound that comes every night. And he came out, he searched, he went behind that sound. And then he saw that sound is coming from Rupa Goswami's Samadhi, which is in the Radha Damodar temple courtyard, just behind. And there he saw Srila Prabhupada is brooming. And he's crying and wailing loudly. Every night he would do that. Oh, Roop Sanat, and he would cry. Roop Sanat, he would sing Sadhu Goswami Ashtakam, and you would be praying, please empower me. And then you would keep crying there, praying there. So that is what he had been faintly hearing in the night, every night. So when the whole world was sleeping, Srila Prabhupada was praying that I want to please you, I want to serve you, please empower me. So that's why he could give that perspective. That is why he was empowered beyond. And Srila Prabhupada also intuitively knew it because then he had his house in Kolkata at Sitakan Banerjee Lane. So he had a 2-floor house. So the first floor he had given to the Gaudiya Mutt for brahmacharis to be trained in Sanskrit. So our Dola Govinda Shastri was a disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and a godbrother of Srila Prabhupada. He would be teaching Harinam Amrit, Vyakaran and Sanskrit texts to the brahmacharis of Gaudiya Mutt in that first floor. So every day there would be classes going on. So one day, Dola Govinda Shastri ji was talking to Srila Prabhupada, Abhay Babu, Prabhupada known as Abhay Babu that time. This is early 30s, mid-30s, 1930s. So he said, Abhay Babu, you know this verse in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Prithivite Yachayata Nagaradi Gram, Sarvatra Prachara Hoibe Moranam, in every town and village of this planet, my name will be spread, Lord Chaitanya has said. Sometimes we feel that this whole planet means basically India only. Because how can the holy name be spread in every town and village of the planet? How can it go to Africa, America? So it refers to India, right? Prithvi means India here. Prabhupada said, no, Prithvi means whole planet, it will happen. So then Dola Govinda Shastri said, but how will it happen? Who will do it? Nobody is able to do it. So that time, Abhay Babu, Prabhupada, very deep, grave voice, lowering his head, he said, one day, some fool who is totally surrendered to his Guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he will do it. So Gola Shastri thought, oh, and he just kept thoughtful. And then somewhere he got a thought, maybe I may do it after some years. And meanwhile, Abhay Babu Prabhupada had walked down the steps. And then he stopped, he turned back, he came back. And he told Dola Govind Shastri, it won't be you. So then Dola Govind Shastri said later on that we didn't know 35 years later. Oh, or Abhay Babu, because he was known as Abhay Babu in the Gaudiya at that time. He was a very big hearted man, very big generous Grihastha donor, and there were great Sanskrit scholars in Gaudiya mission that time. None of them expected this Abhay Babu would be the one who would fulfill Lord Chaitanya's prediction. So this is how Srila Prabhupada, he challenged our paradigm. He could get this success, or his old Radhanath Singh Maharaj is building so many communities, transforming lives. These people who are transforming lives dramatically are able to do it because they have challenged the paradigms, the conventional paradigm of doing spiritual life for my happiness. Their paradigm is Krishna consciousness is for Krishna's happiness. So, this is very, very important point. Sometimes, when we think like that, we artificially start thinking. And I've seen many times in our immaturity, we say, yes, everything for Krishna. And we are very boisterous when we are presenting this to others. Surrender to Krishna, give everything to Krishna. No, it is for self, not to tell others. Srila Prabhupada may have spoken all this in the classes, but in his personal dealings, out of the Vyasasana, see, on the Vyasasana, he was giving this principle. In his personal life, he implemented this principle. But when dealing with people, he was very humble, sensitive, and attentive to the level at which people were. Srila Prabhupada would challenge the paradigms, but he was also sensitive. Like, for example, he was in Australia. The reporter is challenging him. You are a Swami. You are coming in a limousine car. This was an obvious challenge. Now, Srila Prabhupada wanted to smash him, wanted to challenge him. Srila Prabhupada said, so, what is a limousine? Even if you arrange a golden car, it is useless, it is nothing, because the Guru is representative of Krishna. So, but same Prabhupada, he was very humble, like when you were at Kartik Mahadeviya's house in Juhu, because the temple construction was going on. For 15 days, he was staying at Kartik Mahadeviya's house. He's a Grihastha. So, and he was doing his translation in the morning. So one day, Kartik Mahadeviya just saw Prabhupada's tape recorder, he's dictating. And he said, nice tape recorder. Prabhupada said, yes, yes. And he saw, kaam ka hai, kya hai. And then other things they were talking and he left. Then Prasadam, then other programs. Basically 2 weeks, so many things were happening. And when he was leaving after 2 weeks, look at Srila Prabhupada, he's a sannyasi, he's supposed to not care, just ho gaya. I was like, sannyasi is a traveling person who is called Maharaj, means he renounced the world, he should be given all facilities by the Grihastha, and his job, his service is to accept the service and move on. That's a sannyasi. But Srila Prabhupada, sannyasi, world acharya, so many urban disciples, so sensitive to Kartik Mahadeviya, while leaving, he tells Mrs. Mahadeviya that thank you for your hospitality, I want to give you a gift. He gives her such a nice sari. Then Kartik Mahadeviya's daughter, he gives her also sari and some Mahaprasad. And all the servants at the house, Srila Prabhupada gives them cash in their hand. सबके हाथ में rupees cash दिया. कितना दिया पता नहीं पर सबको दिया. लक्ष्मी दिया. And they were like overwhelmed. सन्यासी को देना है हमको. And in the end, to Kartik Mahadeviya, he gave the tape recorder. He said, no, what are you giving? No, you like this tape recorder, keep it. He said, no, I was just saying that day that it is nice tape recorder. No, you like it, you keep it. Prabhupada gave the tape recorder. So that it's what conscientious and also sensitive. This is human dealings. See, in our rush to giving Krishna and marching ahead with our sadhana, we forget basic courtesy, we forget basic humanness, basic sensitivity. जो social dealings होता है, प्यार वाला, So that doesn't mean just Prabhupada was absorbed in Krishna, means he was neglecting all these things. Like in the last days, Srila Prabhupada has established Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. So the royalty from that book publishing, he planned, he's lying on his bed, he's leaving this world. He calls his servants, he says they calculate how much percentage pension to be given to his wife and children. Now, sannyas is not supposed to meet his wife after taking sannyas, and Prabhupada never met his wife after taking sannyas. But he cared for his family. So he's taken out pension, and every month pension was arranged by Srila Prabhupada for his family. So this maturity was there in Srila Prabhupada, and that's how he presented Krishna consciousness. So to summarize what we spoke, the process of Krishna consciousness is simple. But Prabhupada says, what does he say? The process is simple. But which party will get benefit? The sincere party. A sincere party means three things. One is hearing and chanting consistently. And second, with the mood that it is for Krishna's happiness. And third point, balancing it with human sensitivity. Not that, okay, I will just give Krishna and everybody should. We are very strict to the others also, as we are strict. Some of us are very strict to the others and very lenient with ourselves. But ideally is be strict with yourself, but lenient with others. That's what Prabhupada's mood was. That is what our Guru Maharaj's mood is. Be strict with yourself, no problem. But be lenient, be sensitive, because not everybody is at the level of your bhakti. That way, then we'll be able to, because if we are actually pleasing Krishna, we'll actually be sensitive to those who are trying to come to Krishna. So like this, Srila Prabhupada presented Krishna consciousness, and because of that, he could also influence devotees like that. He attracted similar surrender, he attracted similar love from his devotees. Like Sridhama Saka Prabhu was giving Nityananda Tridashi lecture. First time I generally hear people glorifying Lord Nityananda, and then they say Srila Prabhupada is a perfect representative of Lord Nityananda. He also went and gave holy name everywhere. But Sridhama Saka Prabhu gave a very different perspective that day. He started glorifying Prabhupada's disciples, saying that they are perfect representatives of Lord Nityananda because they went everywhere and gave holy name. And he gave one classic example how, many examples like that. Prabhupada would tell his disciples, okay, go to this city, start Hare Krishna centers there. So they're coming from, I think, Kumbh Mela to Mumbai in the train in Delhi. Prabhupada says, do we have a center here? Delhi station. They would say, no, Prabhupada. Okay, Tejas Prabhu, get down and start a center here. So they get down and they go. And that's how they start preaching. Kuch nahi, utar ke ghumo, pata karo. So this is like Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur's mood of going and giving holy names. The kind of surrender, because Srila Prabhupada had that, he could extract that from others also. Like Yamuna Mataji, she's in the train traveling to Mumbai, and Prabhupada says, Yamuna says, in the night time, Prabhupada, do you want something? Yeah, if I can get some hot rice, it will be so nice. He just casually mentioned it. So Yamuna goes to the pantry and she says, I want to cook hot rice for my guru. The pantry wala says, no way. So she says, no, I want. Then she calls her, she meets the TC. He says, allow me. My guru is hungry. He's tired. He says, no, these things are not allowed here. And she starts fighting with him. And then she opens the door of the moving train. She says, I'm jump out of the train. He gets so scared. She threatens and she's about to jump out of the train. He stops her. He says, okay. Then she's allowed. And she goes to the pantry. पूरा वो बर्तन को पहले साफ करती है पूरा, and then she cooks hot. And Prabhupada doesn't even expect. Now after some time they are talking, and then she gets hot rice with ghee, and Prabhupada says, the eyes become big. You are the goddess of fortune. He appreciates her. So this kind of, we see exchanges. He could extract that because he was like that. His paradigm was to please Krishna. So he got devotees like that. So therefore, let us understand this mode, and then Krishna consciousness process will be simple. And we'll be sincere, and we'll be part of the sincere party. We'll get the benefit. Hare Krishna. Any comments or questions regarding today's discussion?
It was very nice when you said you do it for Krishna and not for our pleasure. Today extract you very well.
Yesterday Maharaj was saying, why say Leah point? That's not easy. That's why he mentioned that point that you do something that breaks your heart with all your heart requires a lot. वो मेरे को ऐसा वो बहुत अंदर ही वो hit हो गया था. Sorry. Yes, Anush.
That we have two things which will make Krishna happy. So Prabhupada said that we should chant and hear for Krishna's pleasure. But honestly, when we chant, when I chant and when I hear, it is not. I also feel nourished.
Correct.
I feel nourished.
Correct.
That's why I'm chanting.
Correct.
When I come to class, I know I feel good.
Yes.
So how do we?
No, you do for when you're. So sometimes you not feel good. That time we can say, Krishna, today I'm not feeling good, but I'll still chant because I want to make you happy. I'm not saying everyday chanting should be good. वो नहीं होगा. When it is good, you can say thank you Krishna. Chanting में मजा आ रहा है. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. आज मजा नहीं आ रहा है, but I will chant because today chanting is that is the test, no? You don't feel ecstasy every day while chanting, but still you are chanting. No? That means you are already following it. Consistent. Even when I don't feel like I will chant. That is what determines sincerity. When body, mind is protesting, Krishna, I don't feel like it, but I will do it for you. See, that is a relationship. Otherwise, it's not a relationship with Krishna. It's a business transaction. Otherwise, it's like the Diwali fireworks. And Diwali fireworks are flashy. देखा है कैसा चलता है? कितना देर चलता है? But in this traditional Indian temple, South Indian temple, they light a lamp. That lamp keeps burning for 500 years, 1000 years is going on. In Rameshwaram, Srirangam, in Udupi, 800 years, the lamp is. So bhakti is that Krishna Bhakti is that lamp offering to Krishna, which is steady. Sometimes that will illuminate, sometimes it will shake because of the winds, but it will keep burning. Steady, always. Not a flashy thing. Wow, मजा आ गया, मजा आ गया. तो हम लोग we are used to flashy, attractive. दिवाली fireworks है आपका भक्ति की एक lamp है. It is consistent. So consistency will come if we, even when we don't feel like we chant. Let us say, but Prabhuji, every day I don't feel like chant. तो ठीक है, ऐसा करो. You look for those activities in Krishna consciousness which you like. I'm sure there will be some activities you love. So those days you do those things with happiness. Chanting minimum तो करना ही है. वो discipline के साथ करने के लिए you need to do some activities which you enjoy also. Like sometimes my chanting is not good, but those days if I've done deity worship, I'm happy. और deity worship में आनंद आ गया. But sometimes deity worship भी नहीं है उस दिन और कुछ body में भी health अच्छा नहीं है, कुछ हो गया और chanting भी अच्छा नहीं हुआ. Then I read Bhagavatam. तो उससे थोड़ा आनंद आ गया. So sometimes किसी में आनंद नहीं आता तो I wear my shoe and I go outside and start memorizing verses while walking. And although the verses memorization also gives you a kind of spiritual kick, जो भी बोला अच्छा लगता है. So you should also do things that you like to do. Bhakti is not about torturing yourself. If you go to Krishna and say, Krishna, I'm sad, miserable, Krishna will say, push her off. If you are a servant of a billionaire, very, very wealthy man, and yes, he has no shortage of servants. And one of his servants keeps coming to him crying, Chailo sir, he's always crying, udas chehra. तो मालिक क्या बोलेगा, यार तू मेरा सेवा मत कर, थोड़ा खुश रहे. So we are serving Krishna, but we are miserable. Krishna will say, I don't want your service, you just be happy little. You're always miserable. So look for things which you like to do also. But just like in a relationship, we don't only do things which we like to do, we also do things which are needed, which is part of our relationship. So similarly, chanting Prabhupada gave us is a duty which we perform. And there are some preachers like Anand Vrindavan Prabhu, they are always focusing on chanting so that we get a taste for chanting. But my understanding is, ठीक है, that is ideal. अगर chanting में taste आएगा, then great, na? Then your duty becomes enjoyable. But after so many years, still your duty is not enjoyable, then you keep doing the duty, but do for other things that give you enjoyment. Like making garlands, cooking for deities, or seva, bhagavatam, organizing yatra. Do something that makes kirtan, bhajans, verses, deity worship. ढूंढो उसमें मजा करो थोड़ा. And tell Krishna, thank you. Krishna, because of you, I'm happy. I'm getting this variety. So I have a basket of activities. वो basket में कुछ ना कुछ रहता ही है. I like to write stories. So I write stories sometimes. मेरे को मजा आता है. मेरे क्लास में इधर उधर कुछ स्टोरी आता है. अभी देखो आज मैंने प्रसाद खाया. तुरंत मेरे को खाते खाते स्टोरी समझा रहे 3 लेवल का. इसको तो सेवा करने में मजा आ रहा है. इसको खाने में मजा आ रहा है. मेरे को मेंटल मजा आ रहा है. चलो अभी एक स्टोरी हो गया मेरा. वो अभी क्लास में निकल गया आज ही. So anything I observe, walk, I talk to people and I collect and रात को सोने के पहले एक स्टोरी लिख देता हूँ. Sometimes it is a real experience, sometimes it is fictional, sometimes it is real but with मिर्च मसाला तड़का डाल के. तो फिर वो एक क्लास में कहने का स्टोरी आता है. So that is my greatest joy is in writing stories, imagining stories. मैं इसको सोचता हूँ. Then I give up thinking, then suddenly stories are revealed. When I go for a walk, ऐसा अलग-अलग stories आता है. बचपन पे कुछ story याद आ गया, फिर उसको spiritual purport देते हैं. Like that. So everybody has some rasa. Somebody likes poetry, somebody likes, writing, somebody likes whatever you like. I know one brahmachari, his greatest joy is just being in the sangha. He never misses the brahmachari class on Monday. Shaman Prabhu has been taking since 2004 October. Every Monday. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, verse number 1, every word he explains nicely. 2004 October say every Monday Bhagavad Gita class for 1 hour. And this is 2026 and we have reached only 8 chapters. That's another subject matter. Slowly, dhire se. Why I said this? So this brahmachari comes for this class every Monday and he sits. He doesn't participate, doesn't give so much. वो मैं बाद में पूछता हूँ मजा क्या आता है इसमें? प्रभु जी सब बैठे रहते ना उसमें आनंद. That is his joy. To be in Sankirtan, to be in the association of devotees. And I'm seeing him since 1980s in the ashram. It's peaceful. Every class is there. So that is his rasa. So you find out what you like in bhakti, do that. But also follow some duty part where you don't like, but that's how you show your sincerity. Krishna, I love you. I don't like this, but I'll do it to show you that I love you or I'm sincere.
All this, the relationship part and showing sincerity happens when we are sincere in love with someone, right? Like in any relationship, with your mother, spouse, or anyone, because we have that level of connection. So that thing should, utna connection hoga, then we'll be that determined, to that like सुबह उठने का इच्छा नहीं हो रहा, फिर भी like no, let's do it today for Krishna.
So you are saying right now I don't have any connection with Krishna. थोड़ा तो है, but इतना नहीं है कि मैं इतना commitment दे सकती हूँ. तो जितना आपका प्यार है ना उतना तो commitment करो. आप समझे ना? शादी के बाद commitment अलग होता है, शादी के पहले अलग होता है. तो अभी तो if you don't marry Krishna, in the sense don't take initiation. जितना आप कर सकते हो उतना करो ना, यथाशक्ति. Don't punch above your weight. जितना होता है उतना करो. 2 माला करो, 4 माला करो.
Practically happening 16 rounds, but then morning में नहीं होता है. Every day morning.
खुश रहो यार, जो कर रहे हो उसमें. See, I was in one community in my travels. So I traveled to many cities in US. So in 2 months, 1 month, first time I went, in 30 days I went to 25 cities. Whirlwind tour. But one incident struck me. In one particular community I went to one house. And typical grahastha like you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, no taste in bhakti. I said, what all you do? Prabhuji, you are so close to temple. But, we are chanting 16 rounds. ऐसा आपने बोला ना, 16 तो याद आया मुझे. But we are so close to temple, but we are not getting up early and going to temple for Mangalarti. Prabhu, we are so fallen. Same feeling, no? They had the same feeling. So I was thinking, I told them, but you are chanting 16 rounds, so you should celebrate this fact. Be happy. I felt so many people are not chanting. I said, Acha. I said, yeah, you are very nice, you are very dear to Krishna. You are chanting 16 rounds. Krishna is seeing this sincerity. But they became very happy. I went to next house. You know what they are saying? Prabhuji, we are chanting 16 rounds every day. And Prabhuji, we also attend Mangalarti every day, Prabhuji. But we have no taste in Bhagavatam. We don't read at all. We are so fallen, Prabhuji. So I said, अरे चलेगा भागवतम मतलब बाकी उनका encourage किया, they were so happy. I went to the next house. फिर हमारा भागवतम पढ़ाई हो रहा है, जपा हो रहा है, सब हो रहा है. प्रभु जी हम लोग ना वो कुछ डोनेशन दे नहीं पाते, हमारा फाइनेंशियल वो चल रहा है. But I feel very bad. Jन्माष्टमी में we are not giving, and the temple president also expects us, Prabhu ji. So how can we give more? I said, you don't have to give more. In the end, when I was leaving, they were so relieved that I encouraged them. Every house I went, they were miserable. Because they are focusing on the gap, what they are not doing. Last house I went, प्रभु जी सब अच्छा चल रहा है प्रभु जी, पर मतलब 16 वाला नहीं हो रहा है. मैंने बोला यार ये भी दुखी आत्मा, सब दुखी आत्मा इधर. Because what happens in our preaching now, we are speaking about the highest standards. So on the Vyasasana I'll tell 16 rounds भी करो, मंगल आरती भी आओ, डोनेशन भी दो, preaching भी करो, सब करो. आप लोग यस यस अब सब तो कर नहीं पाएंगे. हमारा काम है वैसा में बैठ के टू गिव यू 100% कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस. दैट इज अ मैंडेट आई हैव. आई एम सेलिंग 100% कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस. यू शुड बी अ स्मार्ट बायर. यू शुड से अरे मैं तो केवल 50% ही खरीदूंगा प्रभु जी का, तो 30% खरीद लेंगे. You should, nobody is telling you to buy 100%. My job is to sell 100%. If I sell anything less than that, then मेरे को फिर मेरा रोटी धंधा बंद हो जाएगा. कि भाई से चलेगा, थोड़ा नेटफ्लिक्स भी देखो, ये भी करो. आप बोले अरे प्रभु जी क्या हो गया, बेकी बेकी बातें कर रहे हैं. फिर प्रभु जी बहुत डिबेट हो गए. सो आई हैव द मैंडेट, सरेंडर योर लाइफ टू कृष्णा, कृष्णा विल टेक केयर. यू शुड बी स्मार्ट. अच्छा ये 100% माल दे रहे हैं, शुद्ध घी का माल. You will not compromise, but you should know your purchasing power capacity. There is always a trade-off. You should have the common sense to know how much to buy, at what level you are in. And I, as Vraja Bihari Das, will give you all reassurance. My job is to reassure you that you are doing very well. You don't worry about that reassurance part. You be honest about what you can give Krishna. And I will do the job of everyday reassuring you that you are doing great. But are you willing to be honest what you can offer Krishna? Or are you under pressure what others are doing? Are you seeking validation? Are you seeking approval from the community? You have a relationship with Krishna. In fact, what is Akinchana Bhakti? Not having anything. So if you say, Krishna, I am so fallen, I have no taste in anything. I am so far away from you, Krishna, I offer this nothing to you. We are waiting to become pure, then we think Krishna will accept me. We think if I chant 16 rounds, if I attend Mangalarti, if I wake up early, if I do all this, tick all these boxes, then Krishna will accept me. No. You come to Krishna now, Krishna will accept you now as you are. We think, I chant Hare Krishna now, I am hoping that if I chant Hare Krishna now, I will become pure and then Krishna will accept me. That is our idea of chanting. I am giving you a different paradigm of chanting. Why don't you chant like this, thinking that, see, what is our chanting right now? If I chant Hare Krishna nicely, then my heart will get clean, then Krishna will love me. This is our paradigm. Now I'm giving a different paradigm. Krishna loves me and he will clean my heart. Let me chant today as a reciprocation to Krishna. Krishna, you love me. I know you will clean my heart. Thank you. So let me chant today for you. Try this different paradigm. ये बहुत अलग paradigm है. हमारा problem है, we are stuck in the earlier paradigm where we are doing chanting. For us is a struggle because we are thinking if I chant nicely, I will clean my heart and then I'll become pure and then Krishna will accept me. I am saying no, Krishna accepts me, so I will chant. So the first model is struggle model. The second model which I am proposing now is a relationship model. So bhakti is not based on willpower, bhakti is based on relationship. So if you are focusing on the relationship with Krishna, wherever you are, Krishna will accept. So many of us have got some fundas wrong, and that's why we are कितना सेवा करने के बाद भी दुखी. And preachers are happy because तुम दुखी है मतलब सेवा बढ़ेगा तुम. I can gaslight you. I can keep pushing you. It's unfair. Because only a happy. So you have to start telling that you are doing good first. थोड़ा अपने आप को simple चीज है, you know. If let's say you have a boss, you're working. The boss every day scolds you, chastises you. You'll be inspired to work more. Or if a boss appreciates you, you'll be able to work more. Common sense. Common sense. If you're only berating yourself, how will you do more bhakti? So learn to be happy with who you are and offer what you can. Okay? We'll stop here. Thank you very much, all of you, and even online devotees, thank you.